Hello, hello, hello. My background seems to be going dark there. Welcome. Thank you for joining me. This is, what is it? Day 11. Can you imagine really at the end of these 12 days of Christmas for the conscious warrior? Today, it's not about fighting or finding for the right answer. It's about asking the right question. We've talked about this a little bit already, hey? Because I often forget to ask the right questions, do you? And what is the right question? We get so caught up in what we're doing that we lose track of where we're going. And perhaps we often settle into comfortable routines instead of confronting the challenges of our dreams and the demands of these dreams and desires. And then eventually we lift our heads only to the realization that our environment, we've settled into, leads us to the answers of someone else's dream and not ours, right? Do you agree? Send me a comment, let me know, do you agree with that? Have you settled into a realization that the environment around you is someone else's dream and not yours? I'm curious, let me know. And that's when we catch ourselves, and for me, when I catch myself doing these things, it's time to take a break. It's to regroup, to ask myself the scary questions I've been avoiding. So here are some of the questions that perhaps you can ponder and then share your answers. So number one, based on my daily routines and actions, where can I expect to be in 5 years' time? This is your life story and you're the author. If you're feeling like you've been stuck in the same setting for too long, it's time to start writing a new chapter. The plot structure is simple, right? Doing nothing gets you nothing. Doing the wrong things will get you the wrong things. Doing the same things will get you the same things. Your story only changes when you make changes, because your subconscious mind knows you're procrastinating on something that's important to you. And the necessary work that keeps you postponing, it causes stress, anxiety, fear, and usually more procrastination. Those Netflix binges and chocolate eating, whatever it happens to be for you and for me. A vicious cycle, if you will, that just continues to worsen until you interrupt it with action. So progress in life is always measured by the fact that you've taken new action. If there's no new action, then you truly haven't made any progress. So the second question is, are the people around me hurting me or helping me? A big part of who you become has to do with who you choose to surround yourself with. As you probably know, it's better to be alone than in bad company. Do you know that? Let me know. You simply can't expect to live a positive, fulfilling life if you surround yourself with people who are negative. Distancing yourself, I never find it easy. It is a lot harder when they happen to be close friends, family members. Yet as hard as it may be, it's something that you need to address. To a certain degree, luck controls who walks into your life. I believe that, especially as it relates to your family and your childhood friends. Yet you decide who you spend the majority of your time with. If someone close to you is draining you, be honest about it. If this other person is draining you and you haven't talked about it, they may not even know, they may not realize that they're doing this, or that the impact that their action is having on you. The next question is, how have I been draining my own happiness? Because in life, you become what you repeatedly think. If your thoughts and behaviors aren't helping you, they're hurting you. Happiness is ultimately an inside job, right? Disconnect from external influences and achievements from happiness and give yourself permission to be happy in each moment without the need for anything more. The bottom line is you have everything you need to be happy or unhappy right now. It just depends on how you think about it. So, invitation, will you be grateful for what you have and find joy in it? Or will you create or concentrate, on what you don't have and never ever feel that you have enough. The choice is yours to make. Please choose wisely. The next question, what excuses am I making? Truth be told, if you're good at making excuses, you'll never be good at anything else. That's just the way it is, as I see it. The world of Fiona Jean, conscious warrior. No matter what the obstacles are that you see in front of you, the only thing truly standing between you and what you want is the excuse you keep telling yourself as to why you can't achieve it. When something is a priority, it gets done, right? Period. And it's not what we claim are our priorities, yet how we spend our time on each that reveals the truth. So it's, and when I say that time on each, it's how you're actually spending your time each day that reveals the truth as to whether you are actually making excuses or whether you're going after your dreams. Because you can make excuses, you can always try and wait for the perfect moment, the perfect this, the perfect that, yet it's not going to get you anywhere. To get where you want to go, you have to just start doing. It makes all the difference. Making excuses takes the same amount of time as making progress. Bing! Light bulb moment, I hope. Boom! Mic drop. Next question. What mistakes do I fear? When you find your path and you know what needs to be done, my invitation is not to be scared. You need to find the courage to make mistakes. Mistake leads to disappointments and defeat in the short term. Yes, I understand that. I have so many mistakes in my life. Yet I'm so grateful because they teach us what we need to know in the long run. Mistakes are the tools that life uses to show us how to move forward. And if you're not making them, are you moving forward? Sometimes, you know, when you look back over your life and you realize that you nearly all of your worries and anxious fears never came to fruition because they're completely unfounded. Again, it's making mountains out of molehills. Why not wake up and realize that right now and save yourself all of that hassle? When you look back over the last few years, how many opportunities for joy did you destroy with needless fear about making a mistake? There's nothing you can do about these lost joys. They're gone. But there's plenty you can do about the ones that are still to come. The next question, how have past rejections lowered your confidence? Not believing that you can is the biggest trap of them all. Because if you don't know your greatness is possible, then you're not going to bother attempting anything great. Period. That's just the way it is. All too often, we let our rejections of the past dictate every move we make thereafter. We literally don't know ourselves to be any better than some opinionated person or narrow circumstance, once told us was true. Of course, this old rejection doesn't mean that we aren't good enough. It means that the other person or the circumstance failed to align with what we had to offer. Period. That's all. Nothing greater. Nothing more significant. Please let that sink in. It means we have more to improve, more time to improve our thing, right? To build on our ideas, to perfect our craft, to indulge deeper into the work that moves us. So again, I encourage you, don't let all rejections take permanent residence in your head. Kick them out onto the street. The wrong choices usually bring us to the right places eventually. You just have to believe in your own potential to get there. The next question is, when did my life fail to fall so far out of balance? And this one I've caught myself so many times. Be diligent and committed to what you're achieving. Yes. Yet also make sure you leave time for pleasure and exploration, other ideas and areas of your life as well. It's not enough to succeed at one goal or to conquer one particular area of expertise. You also have to take part in different beautiful dimensions of life while you can, while it's still here, while there's still time. Lift your head up from work, take a long walk, hold hands with your beloved, go fishing, like me, pull the cray pots, spend time with your friends, swim, be out on the ocean, bask in the sunlight, try something new, meditate, deeply breathe, or sit quietly for a while and contemplate the goodness and beauty around you. In other words, balance yourself. Work diligently towards your goals and dreams, yes, but don't ignore everything else in your life. That is my invitation to you. Keep your mind fresh, your body active and alive, and your relationships nurtured. See, life it's filled with unanswered questions, and isn't that wonderful? Just the way it should be. Staying in the question leads us to so many more opportunities. Yet it's the courage to ask enough of the right questions that ultimately leads you to an understanding of you and your purpose. You can spend time wallowing in fear and avoid the obvious, or asking negative questions like, why me? Or you can be grateful that you made it this far, that you're strong enough to breathe, to walk, and to think for yourself. And then ask, where do I go next? How does it get any better than this? What else is possible? So your turn. I'd love to hear your perspective. Pick one of the questions from the ones in this little video and leave me a comment below with your answer. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for day 12. How exciting, day 12. That means we need you. Bye for now.